Hello, world. You will manifest your desires if you can focus, if you can be consistent, if you can be persistent, if you can visualize, and if you can't visualize, you can write down your desired manifestation or desired life you would like to live. You will manifest it. I guarantee you. But you know, with it doesn't make it easy with all the distractions of the world. The minute that you focus on something over here, the phone goes off. Something else is pulling your attention. Everything is like pulling your attention, making it hard to stay locked in on your desires. And if you don't have that control of the mind to where you can block out everything to stay focused, then you still a manifest. It's just gonna take a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, question: how long can you hold a thought? How long can you hold a vision? This at the beginning was kind of like troubling. Like, I could picture something, I could visualize something, but how long could I do it? How long could I take that image, that visual, that thing I'm thinking about and keep it? Back to Bob Proctor. If you can hold it in the mind, you can hold it in the hand. He said that for a reason. How long can you hold a thought? How long can you hold an image? So then here it comes, taking things and the vision board. Well, even without a vision board, you could still like the house you want. You could run a copy of it and you could put it in a space. But that is helping you hold that vision. That is sort of like your guiding thing. Like, man, I ain't doing nothing. Oh, there go the house I want. Bam. It makes you focus on it. That's what those vision boards on it. It makes you lock in to your desires. You know? So how long can you hold a vision of your desire? How long can you hold that thought? Is the question. Because the longer you can get in detail with your description of what you really want, and the longer you can do that and impress your subconscious mind, you start bending time. Desire here, you're here, desire here. The more you hold that vision, the more that you lock into it, the more you get detailed with it, you start bending the time it takes to manifest it. So, along with persistent consistency, meditation, clearing out just a bunch of random thoughts and sitting there and thinking and being nothing in a way. You know what I'm saying? You're just sitting there. Meditation is not to bring your desires. It's to clear up the mind to focus on your desires. You know, it's not like meditation is like a tool to say, if I meditate, my desires is going to come in. No, meditation clears all the mental diarrhea so you can lock in and focus on your desires to bring it in. So, how long can you hold a thought is the question. How long can you keep that vision? How many times have you thought about wanting to do something, wanting to have something, and then for some reason you don't want that no more? You still want that, but you want it in a different form. You want this car, but oh, there's another car. I think I like that car. Or you're looking at something and you're like, oh, I like that. You flipping or scrolling. No, I like that one. You have to get in tune and with one desire. That is the key. Okay, think of it like this. If you want something here, and maybe 3 days go by and you see something else, then you want something there. Then maybe a few days later, then you want something here. Then maybe a few days later, I don't like that, I want this. Then maybe a few days later, oh, I want this. Then maybe a few days later, oh, I'm not sure. Somebody might say, man, you should get this one. So you're just switching, and just going. But look where we're doing. We're never going to nowhere because we're going around in circles, because we're desiring here, we're desiring there, we're desiring there. We haven't locked in and said, that's why they say it's so important to get in detail with what you want. Sort of like a recipe. At first, coming up with the recipe, you're going to be like, okay, that's tasted good. No, I'm going to have to redo it. But you're getting detailed to where it's just concrete now. This is the way the flavorings and everything is going to go. The seasoning and everything is going to go for me to create this desired taste and effect for this food. Okay? So, focusing on your desires, this is where being detailed comes in. And once you get it in detail, say for instance, I want a house. I want it to be 3 bedrooms. I want it to have a nice yard. I want it to have a basement. I want 3.5 bathrooms. I want 2 dogs in the back. I want a double car garage. I want the house to be brick. I want at least a front and a backyard. And you slowly get detailed with that. Then you lock in with that detail. Okay, the recipe is done. It's time to cook. It's time to cook. But when you're cooking the recipe, it might take 30 minutes in the oven. But in manifesting your desires, it might take a little longer than 30 minutes. I'm just saying. But think of it like that. Like, if you was to create a recipe, it might take a little bit for you to get detailed and find that right taste, to find that right flavor you want, to find that right consistency of the dough or something. When you're creating a recipe, when you're creating your manifestation, when you're creating the desired life that you really want to live, it might take a few days for you to sort it out. You might say, no, wait a minute. I don't want that. I want this. But soon as you map it out to where this is the life that I want, this is the desire that I want, lock into it. I remember years ago how I would get a desire, make a copy of it, and I would use map pencils to draw or color the desired vision that was in my head of what it was. I'm not saying do that, but it was just as through time I was, figuring out, how to lock in, how to make my desires concrete for me to manifest them. So how long can you hold to a thought? How long can you keep that thought going? In another way, tip, mic drop, gem. When you're visualizing your desire, different scenes. So when I was visualizing my house and everything, I would visualize me in the kitchen cooking. That's a scene. I would visualize me in the yard. I would visualize me in the bed. I would visualize different scenes because it'll get kind of redundant, like just visualizing you purchasing the home or you in the house. But when you start creating these scenes, you are impressing the subconscious mind like it is really happening, and that's what you want. The more realer that it could be in here, the more it's going to show up out there. So remember that if you got a car, you will manifest it. But when you visualize it in scenes. Visualize yourself pumping the gas. Visualize yourself washing the car. Visualize yourself picking up friends and they're like, man, look at this car. So you create these different scenes to bring about this manifestation, to impress the subconscious mind, to hardwire that in your brain. And then in a minute, your subconscious mind takes it. And then after that, it starts creating it. So there is a higher, we are co-creators in this universe. We are co-creators in this universe. It's nothing like you're doing it and have to force it all yourself. You do your part, the universe does its part. Your higher self, your subconscious mind taps in and makes things start happening. Just as well as you say you want this car, just as well as your subconscious mind, you believe you can have this car, as well as you start seeing that car. So there's a higher power, a higher consciousness that's gonna bring or cause things to shift for you to get the things that you want. The how will always show up. You just gotta get detailed on what you want. And once you get that and lock into it, the how always shows up. It has happened for me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so many times. I don't want to say it. But yeah, it happens for me so many times. I could use me creating YouTube as just one small example. I didn't know how to do it. I really didn't know how to work on computers. I mean, I recently bought a real computer now, but I had a Chromebook. I basically used my phone and didn't really know how to navigate through phones that well either. More or less like call, text, look at your Gmails and stuff like that. But when it came to something like creating content, YouTube, and I'm still learning, and I got stuff hatching, I guess, in a way to make my YouTube experience more better. But I'm saying that to say this, that I did not know. All I know, all I did know is that I wanted to. And I impressed that. I said, man, I really want to do this. Things start shifting. People start coming in my life to help me get it done. People start coming with ideas. Everything starts shifting for me to get it done. And that's just a small example. All you got to do is want it, believe you can have it, and the how shows up. So, recap, how long can you hold a thought? Practice on holding a vision, because these are one of the keys that it's going to take to manifest. You can't be everywhere with your manifestation and expect to bring it in. You're confusing. It's sort of like you confusing a person. You're confusing the universe. The universe don't know what to do. Like, he wanted this one time, okay. Now, man, he won't even make up his mind. I don't know what to send his direction. Because he's not locked in to it. So, how long can you hold a thought? When you visualize in scenes. Create multiple scenes of you doing stuff with the thing you want. Then you really have to just be tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to this universe, and control your vibration. And because vibration is so big, it's almost like when you think about a house, right? And you're excited. That vibration right there, that vibe, that feel good is what you're going to need to bring it back in. It's like, this is the feeling that I created when I thought about it. I need to create these feelings again to bring it in, or maintain a good feeling, maintain a good vibration to bring it in. You can't be thinking like, man, I ain't going to get it in low vibrational feelings and then it's going to come in. No, the things you want are on a high vibration. So be aware of that. Yeah, man, I gotta move around right quick, but you will manifest if you can focus, be persistent, get in detail with your desires, visualize in scenes, you know. So yeah, hello world.